Hi guys, welcome to my apartment. Weird, huh? So I've been meaning to do this for a long time, which describes most of my experiences with vlogging. But I miss you guys, so I would be interested, I suppose, in having Videolog Spectacular start up again. And I figure the best way to get that going is to start my end of it. I just realized I haven't been looking in the camera when I talk. I've been looking at the picture of my own face, and that's probably really distracting. It's rude is what it is. I should be looking at you. Maybe for the rest of this vlog I'll just film my shrine to Ryan Gosling that's above my toilet while I talk, so that won't be an issue. So it just kind of occurred to me today, something that's kind of weird that I've noticed about living in, well, I don't know if it has to do with living in an apartment so much as just the idea of living in the real world. Guys, as you may or may not know, this year I lived with 4 other people in my apartment, 3 of which I lived with in the dorms last year, so it was like a prearranged thing, and one random guy who we didn't meet or even knew that existed really until the day that we moved in and he showed up. So I don't want to speak for everyone when I say that we were kind of nervous that first day when we first met him, but I know I was certainly a little anxious about, you know, what it would be like to converse with a new person, especially when we first met him and we realized he's significantly older than the rest of us. I mean, by 2 years, but, you know, those 2 years mean a lot. Especially after the first couple times we talked, and it became readily apparent to me that I was too socially awkward to make friends with him, and everyone else in the apartment seemed to just click with him right away. I was worried I was going to get shoved to the side, because apparently that's what I worry about now. So I found it oddly relieving one of the first times I had a conversation with him, just one-on-one, and we both really agreed on something. Mostly it was us complaining to each other back and forth, and it ended up being, you know, a bonding experience, something that we both had in common. I'm literally out of Ryan Gosling shots to show, so I'm just going to show this picture of my new frozen Bluth banana shirt. The problem, guys, was that pretty soon I realized that it was actually changing the way that I went about conversing with other people. Like me and this roommate all of a sudden were having a bunch of actual conversations, but all the conversations we had, they couldn't take place unless we were complaining to each other. And I didn't really look at it as a problem. That's what we bond over, so that's what I would become every time we talked. But I've realized that, like, I can't have a conversation now with, like, anyone here without trying to find something to complain about. That's become, like, the currency with which I transact conversation. Now, I don't want to blow this out of proportion. Like, in terms of how much this actually has me worried about, you know, who I'm becoming as a person, it's pretty low. It's probably like a 3. But it just made me realize that, like, it's surprising how much of an effect just who you surround you with and your environment and just the little things, like the nuts and bolts of what actually goes through your daily interactions, how much that affects ultimately who you are. Like, the fundamentals of who I am as a person may not have changed because of this, what I believe, my morals, but even if my actual personality hasn't changed, the way that I go about presenting that personality, portraying it to the outside world, if that changes, then I've already kind of lost the battle. Because if there's anything Batman Begins taught us, it's that what's inside you doesn't matter so much as what you do. That's what defines you. If my personality is actually golden, but I go around presenting it as if I'm some sort of terrible person, in what sense do I really have that good a personality? Ultimately, what I take from this is how blessed I was to grow up surrounded by a group of friends who kept me level-headed and humble and honest. Thanks for making sure I don't gossip behind people's backs. I mean, you know, other than people who genuinely deserve it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We're not a group of saints. Lately that's been an anchor of sorts, I suppose, is reminding myself, what would I say, how would I act in front of people who I've always had a genuine respect for, and hopefully that'll help me to attract people of that same kind as I go forward in my life. In summation, I think there's something we need to address real quickly. I think the reason no one's been doing Videolog Spectacular is because we've all kind of agreed that the current structure is not working. But because, as I've expressed, I don't want Videolog Spectacular to just die, there's a couple things I want to propose and see how you guys feel about it. First one, as a new schedule, either we just don't really have a schedule, everyone just has to make a vlog every month. I feel like everyone will end up uploading on, like, the 31st of every month, though, so that may not be the best idea. Alternatively, I think maybe we should just keep the schedule we have right now, and each person has 1 week to finish their vlog. I'm personally a fan of the second option because it means we have to do fewer vlogs overall, but it still maintains a pretty constant one. We all stay in touch, and there'll be a new vlog uploaded every week. Also, kind of on a personal note, I've decided to experiment a little bit with vlogging, and for the rest of the month of October, I think I'm going to vlog every day. The premise is I'm only going to upload one take, 1 minute long videos every day, so that I don't waste my whole day editing. So yeah, love you guys, and friendship always wins.